Welcome to my YouTube studio setup tour. Let me begin by saying this YouTube studio absolutely took away the biggest dream I had when I was a kid, and even as an adult.
Yeah, it's really touching, but can you just move over to the other side? Just move over, yeah. Perfect.
Is this okay, yeah? All right. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know I started out in this tiny space. While the main room now that I'm in is tiny as well, it's still 8 feet by 10 foot. This was actually used for a home cinema. And this was a childhood dream, and before we ever bought a house, it was my only demand to jar my wife. I said, I want a room for a home cinema. When I went back making YouTube videos, and the more I made YouTube videos, the more I started getting frustrated with the old space. Shooting anything in there was an absolute nightmare and ended up in swearing and frustration because the whole thing was cramped and too small. I eventually bit the bullet and started pulling apart the room that was our home cinema. Truth be told, we didn't kind of really use it that much, but it was still my dream and it was very hard to let go. Eventually, I got my YouTube Studio 2.0 out here. Kind of stereotypical IKEA-inspired YouTube studio setup. Alex drawers, Carlby countertop, but it was comfortable, it worked, and most importantly, it gave me a lot of space. And the more I looked at it, the more I needed even more space. Doing an unboxing or a product video was still a nightmare. Do you have to do that now? Really? No. Do you have to drink all of it? No. Ah, come on, don't be a pig. So I bit the bullet again and got rid of these amazing Bowers & Wilkins speakers, which I had owned forever. I bought another Carlby countertop, and the last of my childhood dream was gone. The only thing remaining was a hole in the wall for my old projector and the projector screen here, which is behind me. And I kind of use that now as a photography backdrop, mainly for thumbnails. With an extra desk and countertop, it gave me some more space, and Jar, my wife, had this incredible idea of putting casters on the countertop so I can wheel it out whenever it's needed, and I can slide it back in when it's not in use. I still wasn't happy. The wall behind me in videos was way too busy with tons of precariously stuck on acoustic foam panels, a Boba Fett helmet and other figures and stuff. And here I am talking about cameras and making videos and filmmaking. It just didn't make contextual sense visually. I stripped all the acoustic foam, I repainted the wall black, I got an IKEA frame shelf, and I got some more relevant stuff in there. A whole bunch of cameras, including one of the very first digital cameras I ever bought. So today we have Studio 3.0. Now, to make things better again, and because this is a small space, I wall mounted my key light, which is a Godox SL60W, and I also wall mounted an old softbox key light on the other side of the room so that it helps light the screen behind me for any thumbnails, and it kind of lights me. Keyboard wise, I'm using the Logitech Craft keyboard. It's a great keyboard, but to be honest, the craft wheel isn't as useful as I thought because it doesn't really integrate fully into the likes of Lightroom, or specifically for me, Premiere Pro, particularly around color grading. The monitor though is an LG 34-inch wide, I think it's 34, and it's absolutely amazing. So the widescreen display makes video and photo editing that bit easier because you've got so much more screen real estate to play with. The monitor is sitting atop a kind of a plastic monitor shelf that I picked up on Amazon, and it's functional. It's got a small drawer and also got a phone stand, so I'm never too far away from my phone, God forbid. So to the left of this is a bunch of hard drives for storage, and because I'm unfortunately a natural hoarder, I keep all of my footage because I never know the day that I'll need it again, which will be never. I also keep all of my work from home stuff here for teamwork on those drives as well. Last Christmas, I added a 65-inch TV in here to make better use of the wall space and just to have something that I can switch on to switch off and watch a bunch of YouTube videos, or maybe play some video games on the PlayStation 5. Truth be told, I generally watch a lot of my own stuff here before I upload it because when it's on a big screen, it's easier to spot the occasional kind of screw up. And while I was going to get rid of the couch in the middle of all of this studio changing, I'm kind of glad I hung on to it even though it would give me more space. This is a hugely and highly functional space now with a few different angles for shooting videos. And the big thing for me is that set up to shoot a video is now incredibly easy. Everything in here is controlled via voice, so I can just go, hey, turn on the studio, and the key lights come on and the Philips Hue strips fire up, and then it's a case of just literally planking the camera down and pressing record. I'm really lucky to have a family that are understanding that I need this space. One of the kids would love a bigger bedroom, and in time I will give them a bigger bedroom. Now, I've got this place wrong time and time again. Here, look, I even stuck a load of wooden floorboards to one wall because I thought it looked cool. I spotted it when Maddie Hapoya and Peter McKinnon, they had their old office, which is now just Maddie's and Teppo, but like they had a load of wood in the wall, and I was like, this is great, just go buy some cheap floorboards. I was taking it down because it's just like, why? I never use it. But recently my wife said, don't take it down, it kind of gives the room kind of a little bit of character. Can you turn that off? It's really unprofessional. Now this YouTube space is something close to where it's the best it can be right now. I've kind of changed the blue and orange lighting to something a bit more, hell, I don't know. But I like how it looks. I hope you guys kind of like how it looks too, because it's probably a little bit more reflective of the whole camera filmmaking space, I guess. And I'm really conscious of trying to make this my own and not just imitating some bigger YouTuber, but it's kind of hard to do in one sense. Say you go to a car lot, you expect to see cars, not equipment for open heart surgeries. So I'm trying to reflect what I'm talking about. I'm not bitter about dumping my childhood dream for this studio space. Sure, I miss the home cinema and all that, but you know what? This has helped me realize the new dream that lies ahead.
Yeah, Vic, if anybody's made it this far, which nobody has, let's be honest, nobody would watch this crap. They should really click this video here.